Football in 60, presented by Valvoline. New episodes debut every Sunday night.
Only on Pac-12 Network.
Hi, I'm Adora Anai, University of Utah Women's Volleyball. I'm from Hau'ula, Hawaii. I chose the University of Utah because I have family around, and second most because they have a great nursing program here. I really wanted to get into the medical field, so I looked more into it, researched, and I found that it was one of the top in the nation. Student athlete means more of being a student first before your respected sport. Obtaining an education here at the University of Utah is number one to me. I come to school, I do a sport. The main focus here at college is being able to get a degree and earn an education for your future. Adora Anai, University of Utah Women's Volleyball. Go Utes!
The bright lights and another beautiful Thursday evening in Los Angeles, California, where the UCLA women are looking to stay unbeaten. It's Pac-12 Women's Soccer, presented by Pure Silk, as the number 2 Bruins get set for a conference clash against the visiting Utes of Utah. Hey everybody, welcome inside Drake Stadium. Happy to have you along here from the campus of UCLA alongside former ASU defender Tim Slane. I'm Christian Miles in Timorous. Well, UCLA knocked out of the top perch. They are now number 2 after 6 consecutive weeks at number 1. They want to get that ranking back against a Utah team that can be very difficult to beat.
Of course, and leading the force in the attack is none other than Haley Mace. She is just an absolute beast on the ball, and she's just been so productive for this UCLA side. Right now, she leads the league with 12 goals, having scored 6 goals in the last 4 games. She's also a defender converted into an attacker, just an incredible player with power and pace, and she's developing a real sophistication for nose on the goal.
Could be a little bit of a different role for her tonight. On the other side, another junior striker, the other Haley, Skolmoski for Utah. She's not too shabby in her own right.
No, not at all. And last year, just to give you an idea, she scored 13 goals to lead the Pac-12 conference. Of course, Mace is catching up to her quickly. But keep your eyes on Skolmoski, number 19, with 7 goals, leading the Utah Utes in the attack. Watch out for her partnership between the likes of Po Vanderveen and Haley Kachekarne to really connect and cause a little trouble for the UCLA Bruins.
They're tough to break down, and we'll see if UConn can do just that. When we return, we'll send it back out to Drake. We'll look at starting lineups and the first half kickoff. It's the Bruins and the Utes, and it's next on Pac-12 Network.
You're watching Pac-12 Mountain, home of the Colorado Buffaloes and the Utah Utes. Available on Xfinity.
As my swimming career progressed, I started hearing the Cal name and associating so many well-known swimmers with the name Cal, and if I could be in the same environment that they were able to achieve such great things, then that was one of the things that I really wanted to do. Coach Terry McKeever really emphasized the fact that it's not just swimming, but it's just growing as a person and as a student. Out of the pool, they recognize every single person for their academic achievements. There's a really important culture of being able to not just do swimming, but really thrive in the classroom as well. We expect a lot out of each other. If one of us has a bad test mark or anything, it's not from a place of being hard on each other, but just setting the standard really high so we can achieve really great things no matter how hard things get. Noemi Thomas, Cal Women's Swimming. Go Bears!
Okay, I picked out my dream car. Now's the really fun part. Choosing the color, the wheels, the interior, everything exactly how I want it. Here's the thing. Just because I configured this car online doesn't mean it really exists at a dealership. But with TrueCar, I get real pricing on actual cars in my area. I see what others paid for them, and they show me the ones that match the car I want. So I know I can go to a TrueCar certified dealer, and it'll be right there waiting for me. Today. Right now. This is TrueCar.
Friday, get ready for a night of kills and thrills. The Bruins and the Utes meet in Salt Lake City. Pac-12 Women's Volleyball. Friday at 5 on Pac-12 Network.
Most universities dream of excelling at one thing. The Pac-12 excels at many. We have a tradition of bringing all the right elements together. That's our team chemistry. Pac-12, the Conference of Champions.
I'm Joe Dykstra, head swimming and diving coach at the University of Utah, and you're watching Pac-12 Mountain.
Pac-12 Women's Soccer is presented by new Pure Silk Razors. Shake up your shave with Pure Silk Premium Disposable Razors. And by State Farm, here to help life go right.
Conference play returns. It's Pac-12 Women's Soccer presented by Pure Silk. It's the number 2 Bruins getting set to kick things off against the Utes of Utah. Thursday goals here on the Pac-12 Network. Let's take a look at the starting lineups. We'll begin with head coach Rich Manning and the Utes coming off a disappointing loss at the expense of Cal, who emerged victorious. Skolmoski has been leading the line all season. The junior striker has been quite magnificent so far, finding the back of the net 7 times. She'll pair that partnership up top with Ella Balstedt, Paolo Vanderveen. They call her Poe. She'll be pulling the strings just behind that front two. For Amanda Cromwell, one slight change from the team that drew against Arizona last Sunday, and we're going to see Claire Winter come in. We will not see Zoe Gorowski play a role in the starting sense, and Ashley Sanchez, a different position for her. She'll be in that number 9 spot. And a little bit of a left-sided role today for the top goal scorer in the conference, Haley Mace. In Utah coming in, looking for their first win in Pac-12 off the back of 4 consecutive defeats. Meanwhile, unbeaten UCLA with 11 wins and 2 draws. Very much one of the teams to beat. Happy to have you along, Christian Miles, alongside Timorous Lane. And Sam, it's UCLA on Breast Cancer Awareness Night with the pink socks and the white, attacking the goal to the right. What do you expect to see here in the early moments?
Well, you just saw the start of it. An attacking powerhouse, sending numbers forward from the Bruins side, and Utah doing their best to match up to the top team in the league. Right now, just battling it out with UCLA, and man, a force to be reckoned with.
I'll pick your poison right off the bat. Here comes Annika Rodriguez for the UCLA Bruins, running into a wall of dark shirts. Pops out wide on that right-hand side, and Utah cleared away momentarily. And this is patented trademark stuff here from the UCLA Bruins. They like to possess you and pass you right off the park. It'll be a big test of this defense for the Utes.
And if you saw from the lineup, they put the numbers forward. They rely heavily on their attacking power and the likes of Fleming connecting up top with Mace, and even the young leadership of Ashley Sanchez.
We'll see how they build out. A little bit of a tweaked lineup as Mackenzie Serta comes over on the right-hand side. We'll see Gabby Matlich on the right-hand side. We'll see Mackenzie Serta adopt that role at left fullback, and a holding role as Claire Winter is reintroduced. She'll sit in front of that back four as that shield, but it's on the attack. UCLA knocking on the door, out it pops, and the first touch of the night for sophomore goalkeeper Carly Nelson. She could be busy this evening.
Absolutely, she's going to have players running at her. Of course, we just saw none other than Haley Mace on the ball, threatening that one. Nelson does her best to get on this, and we'll see how Utah meet the challenge this evening at Drake Stadium.
It was 4 consecutive victories for UCLA until that Sunday draw in Tucson, much to the credit of Tony Amato and the Wildcats. And UCLA then number 1, dropping down to number 2 for the first time in 7 weeks. So we'll see how they respond here as it comes out wide, and this is the first foray forward. Wide on the right now for Utah. They get in behind. They've got that pace, and they can hit on the break.
That's the right play, and great response here from Utah, looking to connect and cut that one back. With Skolmoski on the ball, looking to connect. Just didn't quite find her teammate there in the penalty area. Now Utah looks to possess.
Here's Janie Kerr on the left-hand side, links up, just hugging that sideline. Nice little turn here from Utah, but it is deemed to go over the touchline. So a throw in now for the Bruins, and we're seeing an adventurous and interesting tactical setup. We had a chance to catch up with head coach Rich Manning, and he's going to push 5 in the back and morph into a 3, and we'll see Skolmoski up there. So we'll see how Utah can deal with this high pressure from the Bruins.
Yeah, I think his idea is to really load up that center midfield area to clog up those passing lanes for the likes of Jesse Fleming and Villa Corta, really doing their best to eliminate those connections to their front runners up top and finding Sanchez and cutting off those lanes. In the meantime, they're going to have to generate their own attack if they want to respond and get on the board against a strong UCLA Bruins side.
Here's Tavia Leachman. She's a Southern California product from Long Beach and Long Beach Poly High School. She's at the center of that defense. It's given away. This could be costly. It's a good step up from the sophomore Leachman to win it back. The possession very short-lived, as is often the case here for UCLA opponents. Dropping deeper now is UCLA fabulous freshman Ashley Sanchez in Utah, getting stuck in midfield. We mentioned how difficult they can be to break down. It's in the attack where they've had their problems.
That was a great play, great step up there.
Holly Dalgirda from Salt Lake City and Skyline High School operating on the right-hand side, the sophomore.
Getting a free kick call here.
And this could really be the bread and butter tonight for the Utes. They'll take it short near side for Curl, the senior from Salt Lake City.
Ball stat on that one.
Nice turn across, and Poe Vanderveen sends it right off the head of Karina Rodriguez for UCLA. A little higher pressure, more of an attacking posture right now from Utah.
Right, is a 3-back with 5 center midfielders. And that's what we're seeing is as a brave approach to defend a well-known attacking side in the UCLA Bruins. And you said it earlier, they can morph into a 5-back if they need to. We saw the way that UCLA lines up looking for that attack.
And it's going to be a big test of those players in the wide positions. They're going to have to cover a lot of ground as Poe Vanderveen wins it, and the Dutch player just sends it high.
I like that look.
Found that pocket of space, and that could be to her advantage throughout the evening. Poe Vanderveen, a junior from Leidschendam, Netherlands, part of the Dutch youth setup. And she certainly has the pedigree and the experience under her belt.
Yeah, and Coach Manning has said she's just had a fantastic season. She's really the engine of this team, the connection between the defense and the front runners. Creative, she's just an all-out hustler and someone we can expect to really develop and produce a lot of the play for the Utah side.
5 winless now for Utah.
That's a tough one coming into the Pac-12 conference. Confidence is everything as a player, as a team. And when you step up against a UCLA, you come to the California schools, it doesn't get any easier, we'll just say that.
There are no easy games, and here's the super sophomore Jesse Fleming. Nice little dummy from Sanchez, wide on the left-hand side. Mace with the cross. That one sails into the side netting, but once again it's the Bruins knocking on the door. And what do you make of this role for Haley Mace? Because she's not playing that out-and-out number 9, a little bit wider for her tonight.
Yeah, I think they're trying to give a different look against Utah, having done their fair share of scouting and reading, knowing what Haley's capable of and how she can cause trouble and havoc for any of the defenders back there. Again, Janie Curl is back from injury. She was out in the Stanford match with an injury, so she recovered. It wasn't necessarily clear whether or not she was going to play today, and she's in. Giving Utah that leadership and defensive prowess. So Haley Mace, we know her as a number 9 this season. Last year we understood her as a defender. She's a convert, and boy has she just unleashed.
Wherever she is a player. You've seen her play in defensive midfield in that holding role, and even wider in midfield earlier in her collegiate career. And I'll go out on a limb right now, she's having a Pac-12 Player of the Year type of season as it goes into the gloves of Carly Nelson.
Undoubtedly, she scored 12 goals, many games left to play. And Haley Skolmoski on the other side of the ball was last year's Pac-12 Player of the Year, and having Offensive Player of the Year, having scored 12 goals. 1 goal away Already building up.
So it goes out of play. UCLA is trying to knit something together. Matlich couldn't quite get to it, so a throw here for Janie Curl. Utah with a good start to this one. Poe Vanderveen just trying to link up top. Haley Skolmoski. She's the intended target up there, and I'm interested to see how she forges that partnership with Ballstedt. Wide now for the Bruins on that left-hand side, looking to build something of consequence. Tucking back is Villacorta in Utah. They're playing with a little bit of a higher line here, an audacious approach to this.
You've got to match up with UCLA. They are just so crafty. They know how to connect. That's the right call. What a touch, though, from Rodriguez. You like that ball in. Also, great call from the sideline official there.
Annika Rodriguez has been on a tear. Scored and assisted in each of the last 4 games.
Yeah. Tough to see when the ball was played, but you could see there she had a significant lead on the offsides position.
Gotta like the stylish pink trim tonight. Of course, in honor of breast cancer awareness. The annual game. A little bit of a frosty evening. Temperatures below the 60-degree mark in Southern California. Jacobson now links up with Vanderveen, pulling the strings now. Flag is up, offside against Utah. So it'll be a big role tonight for Eden Jacobson, the junior player that is characterized by her head coach as really that out-and-out traditional two-way player. She can link that midfield to the attack. They are going to need those services if they want to really breach that defense, which has been kind of underrated UCLA, but very difficult to break down in its own right. Jacobson with 2 goals and 3 assists. She could be central to those hopes. So the Bruins with the throw. Trying to get things going. It's an attack this year at Semris that has amassed 36 goals this season. Only 5 schools in the entire country have managed to score more goals than UCLA. So it's pretty much a case of pick your poison going forward for this very talented group of Bruins.
And they just do such a tremendous job of spreading the defense. Look at the attackers across the top line. Really forcing the Utah defenders to have to make a decision on how to not only pick up players, but play intelligently in a supporting and cover role.
So a throw now is Ashley Sanchez will defer, and you can see that moisture as Annika Rodriguez opts to dry off the ball. It can make things a little slick on the throw-in, and she does have a good throw on her. The redshirt sophomore heaves one up. Nice little flick forward to knock down. And nothing of consequence or too troubling for Carly Nelson.
Great coverage there from the Utah defense.
Kaya McCullough defensively now. Is UCLA able to win it back? Here's the younger of the Rodriguez sisters, Karina, wide for Matlich. Is Jessie Fleming really liking to get a foot on the ball? And this year it's a different role for her, Timbers, than we saw last year, which was such a breakout season.
She's really had to step up not only in leadership on and off the field, that's why she's one of the co-captains, but she's someone that really just operates and functions as the centrifuge of the entire attack, offensively and defensively. She gets behind the ball. If you watch her through the game, track her through the game, it's the work she's doing off the ball that makes her so great when she has the ball at her feet.
Just losing out on the Pac-12 Freshman of the Year honors to Korniak last year of Colorado. Taylor Korniak having a fantastic season for the Buffs. But this is Annika Rodriguez who heads into Utah territory. That high line, it worked well on that offside trap moments ago, but UCLA trying to dig it in midfield. Here's Annika Rodriguez, supported by Claire Winter, one of the 2 last remaining players from that 2013 NCAA championship team. Matlich just dropping that shoulder, heading to the byline, and that's a good piece of defending back there from Janie Curl. Good trickery, though, from Matlich on the cutback, out in front, danger for Utah, and somehow or another, UCLA can't find the back of the net. Scary moment, though, for the Utes.
Gabby Matlich, look at this work effort and great defending here, but she just cuts this one back right to the line, gets a cross off, and you said it, a funny skip there. Carly Nelson wasn't able to get her hands on the first one, but she recovered for the Utah defense.
How about that cutback from Gabby Match right out of the Preki playbook?
Just tremendous vision and knowledge to know that that's an option for her to beat the defender.
Credit to her persistence.
Persistence pays off.
Here's Bo Vanderveen now for Jacobson. Part of that midfield setup. Near side for Curl. Who really could have her hands full. We know how those fullbacks like to get forward for the Bruins. Leachman, the anchor.
Bo Vanderveen coming back, creating something in that sea of white jerseys in the center of the pitch there.
Curl trying to go up and over the top and pick out the likes of Vanderveen. It's dug out by Ballstat, and she's done really well here. Supported nicely by Cacciacarne, who sprays it out wide, and here come the Utes trying to take a bite out of UCLA early, and McCullough doesn't quite get it right. Scurrying off her line is Micah, and it goes out to play. A corner kick now for Utah. So a slight miscue for the Bruins.
Great build-up and development here from Utah. They have a lot of composure here. They're able to get to the end line, get a cross-off. Again, we said it. The field is wet. The ball is taking funny skips. And Utah earns a corner.
Get to Nissan's Truck Month today and save big on Nissan's family of trucks like Frontier, Titan XD, and Titan, backed by America's best bumper-to-bumper truck warranty. Hurry, Truck Month ends soon. Take on today. Now save up to $13,710 on Titan XD or get Frontier starting at just $18,390. Get to Nissan, proud partner of the Utah Utes. Go Utes!
My major is called Health Promotion and Education, and my emphasis is in emergency medical services.
Short serve, ace serve, and a fist pump from Jessie Jorgensen.
Utah was great for that because they have their own hospital, and so they have great internship opportunities, and you need to get a lot of hours for this as well. You have opportunities all around you to get into the work field to pursue that major. My major and volleyball both complement each other, I think, because they're both working with building people and helping them. Obviously, the medical field, you're going to be trying to heal and help, but volleyball is also a great opportunity for that and a great leadership opportunity in both of those situations as well.
Lather up, and there's a tape serve.
My name is Jessie Jorgensen, University of Utah Women's Volleyball. Go Utes!
This week, we've got non-stop gridiron action. First on Thursday, Kyle Whittingham and the Utes invite you inside the huddle. Make sure you do everything right this week on a brand new episode of The Drive.
Gang on me, gang on three, 1, 2, 3, gang!
Then on Friday, Mike Yam and the crew get you ready for an action-packed weekend on Inside Pac-12 Football. And on Saturday, we've got back-to-back football action. It's all happening this week on Pac-12 Network.
This could be very much to their advantage. Aaliyah Guerra, the sophomore from Mumka, Washington, standing over it with that right foot, and we'll see how they line it up. On the outswing, it pops up, skipped in a scary moment for UCLA. One ultimately going wide, but Cacciacarne just laying lace to leather. Quite a few Haleys out there, and she's been chipping in with the assist this year with 5 helpers, good enough for 9th best in conference.
There are quite a few Haleys, aren't there?
Absolutely.
Popular name on this pitch tonight.
And it's about the Haleys. Namely Mace and Skolmoski. And Cacciacarne able to play a supporting role. And here come the Bruins now, building out of the back left-hand side. But once again, that high line resulting in another offside call against the Bruins. And it's going to be integral because this is a risky proposition to play here, Temris.
Take a look here as the ball gets played in. We're not able to see that back line, but that is credit right there to the center back, Tavia Leachman, holding down that back line. Natalie Wells and Aaliyah Guerra really have to be in close communication with one another to ensure that the likes of Rodriguez is getting that offsides call. Dangerous, like you said. really takes solid team communication and understanding.
Interesting role tonight for Ashley Sanchez, playing as the number 9 and the spearhead of the Bruin attack, showing off her versatility. Pushed out wide by Maxerta, trying to link up with Haley Mace to no avail.
That's a great hustle there.
As though Mace might have kept it in, and she did. So a corner coming up now for the Bruins. This could be exactly what the doctor ordered now. They take it short. A little dip of the shoulder from Rodriguez. Crosses to that far post. Out in front. Appeals for the handball. And none given.
Wow, credit to both sides. UCLA taking that smart, intelligent, quick corner, and Utah for making that adjustment almost immediately. That was a dangerous play there and a save off the line for the Utah Utes off of the Rodriguez header.
That was straight off the training ground, right as they draw it up every day in practice, and it nearly resulted in a goal for Annika Rodriguez. A lovely ball from Ashley Sanchez.
I like the looks of this, and Rodriguez is there just to put it away, but to no avail. Haley Kachiakarne does her job in cover position, gets in front of the ball, stopping UCLA Bruins from getting one on net.
Here's Viviana Villacorta, the talented freshman, linking up with Annika Rodriguez. Bruins starting to settle into this one. As the nerves subside just a bit. No doubt UCLA want a positive response after dropping points in conference play for the first time last Sunday at Arizona.
Great battle there in the midfield, making Jessie Fleming do the work.
Mace dropping deep. She can do it all. And this time the flag is down for Annika Rodriguez. Trying to cut it right past, and it goes out in front just on the edge of the 6. And it was great movement from Sanchez, but she couldn't steer it on target. That is another element that Utah are going to have to cope with, this movement from the Bruins.
Now take a look. Rodriguez lifts her head up, looking to beat Curl out here out wide, and just slips it past Utah again. It's a slick ball out there tonight. Utah getting fortunate to recover on that one.
Here's Jessie Fleming, the Canadian, just enough of a toe poke. It finds its way up to Annika Rodriguez, who appears to be the weapon of choice down this right-hand side. Sanchez slips, and you said it, Tim, a very slippery surface, downright greasy.
That's the way it feels tonight, and you can see it on both sides of the pitch.
Good step forward out of the back, and UCLA starting to really dominate possession. Fleming with a step over, and the Canadians done brilliantly. Past one, up and over the top. It's a little heavy, but it wouldn't have mattered as Ashley Sanchez was in the offside position. The third time we've seen that here in the first 19 minutes.
Well, truly, Utah have spent a lot of time coordinating their defensive line, making sure that this is a tool that they're using. Pulling that offsides trap, if you may. Holding their line steady, probably listening to the likes of Tavia Leachman. I can't hear her from here, but it takes a leader in the back to make sure that you are all on the same page. Dangerous play there from UCLA Bruins.
Especially, Temris, playing the type of system and that high line that Utah have come out with.
Yeah, credit to them. You know, they really stuck with the game plan. Credit to Rich Manning. Right now, they're generating momentum even in the attack, doing their best to stay focused, connecting in a really intense midfield there against the likes of Fleming, Winters, and Villacorta.
Pushed out wide, Haley Mace head down and a full head of steam at that, but she has her pocket picked on that right-hand side. Well defended by Dagirda. Pushed up forward now for Skolmoski, but the header falls straight to the feet of the Bruins. Serta now for Ashley Sanchez, who drops deeper. The flag is down on the far side for Haley Mace. They'll drift out of play. They're just trying to get it clicking on all cylinders, and it hasn't quite gotten in sync just yet. We know how good they can be when they are on their day.
Yeah, and they're going to continue to try for that run, that through ball, either over the top or splitting the defense, looking for the likes of Sanchez, Rodriguez, or Mace, looking to break down the Utah defense. But right now, Utah is just really holding their own and challenging the Bruin attack, looking to clog up that midfield and make it difficult for them in their typical game plan.
Well, we'll see how it rounds out. Talking with Rich Manning this week, the head coach of Utah, said, you know what, we're going to have that fighting spirit. We're going to have 7 to 8 at the back at times. But, it's always a wild card a coach can pull out with this high line.
And I wouldn't be surprised if we saw the likes of Haley May slide back into that number 9 position, moving Ashley Sanchez outright. Because Mace has done so well playing that target, where she's just developed a sophistication where she can play with more confidence with her back to goal. Clearly, having produced 12 goals in that center forward position has been beneficial for the Bruins. Wouldn't be surprised if we see that adjustment in the second half.
Here's back to Tegan Micah, the Australian keeper, finds her way for Gabby Matlich, the senior fullback, operating on the right-hand side. She's so versatile. Played a large part of the season on the left as well. Heart of that defense. Karina Rodriguez, the younger of the Rodriguez sisters, just gives it away now, and a chance for Utah to build something. Good ball forward, and that one just a little under hit. Van der Veen trying to bring it down, and does. Sprays it out wide, and this is real positive from the visitors.
1v1 battle here out wide.
Just doesn't quite come off.
Ballstead does well on the ball, but fouls in the end.
She tried for Ballstead tonight, her first of the season.
And she's trying to get those balls in, crossing them into the likes of Haley Skolmolsky, but she is just surrounded, Skolmolsky, by Bruin defense, and those are going to be 50-50 balls. Playing feet for Utah is what's really helping them get momentum, taking care of the ball and maintaining possession.
Now in one back, sent forward by Winters. Sanchez peels off. Villacorta now locates Annika Rodriguez. Good switch out now, and here come the Bruins on that inside channel. Annika Rodriguez just a toe in from behind, and Utah disrupt that attack.
You can see the tentativeness of the forwards looking at that offsides line. Rodriguez was looking for Mace to split through, but she was still holding her onside position. Nelson ended up with it in the end.
Utah would love to end the drought here at UCLA. 5 games running without a goal. They came into tonight without a strike in the last 527 minutes, and you tack on another 24. It's not good reading. It can do wonders, not just in terms of having one on the board, but for the morale. But they give it away out of the back, and it's hit with a little too much power by Villacorta, high over the bar.
It was a dangerous ball out, and clearance from Carly Nelson right in the center of a pitch to Villacorta, who was wide open, and she might as well have tried that one. Just a little too much on it. And you said it, if Utah can not only get on the board, but if they can come away with a result, it would be a huge victory and a morale boost. And I will say, they are playing with a different kind of confidence tonight.
Well, they did it against USC in their Pac-12 opener in Salt Lake City late last month. That one going to double overtime, and a goal is drawn. But here's Po Van der Veen. Flag is down, and this is positive. Here come it's a late flag. My goodness.
Yeah. Took a pause there as she just made sure of that call. Let's take a look. Po plays the ball in here, and the run was already being made. It's the right call.
A mile offside. But she's finding those pockets of space between the midfield and the defensive lines, Po Van der Veen.
Yeah, looking for Ballstead and Skolmolsky.
Pressure on the high left-hand side from Haley Mace, the junior, trying to dig into this Utah defense and gets stuck in equally as well. Natalie Wells operating on the right-hand side of that 3-back, center-back setup. So a throw-in now for Mace and the number 2 Bruins.
Those pink socks tonight. You said it earlier.
That one headed away. Knocked right back into the danger area, and it pops up off the foot of Leachman. Now, UCLA picked number 2 in the preseason coaches poll behind number 1 and now number 1 ranked Stanford to win it all in the Pac-12 conference this year. The cross in, whole host of white shirts. Matlich gets ahead to it, but not enough power to beat Nelson. Happy to have you along. It's Pac-12 Women's Soccer presented by Pure Silk. Christian Miles alongside Timrus Lane. No goals between Utah and the Bruins.
You know what I like from Utah is when they get their opportunity, they're putting their heads down, they're connecting their passes, they're playing intelligently, especially down that right flank, looking for their opportunities. Their opportunities have come from that outside right in Ballstead and DeGuerta, really connecting with Poe and doing their best to break down that UCLA Bruin defense. To no avail at the moment, but a different kind of confidence coming from Utah as they step on the pitch tonight at Drake Stadium.
So Natalie Vukic comes in, the senior from Bainbridge, Washington, and she'll relieve Ella Ballstedt. The first time Vukic has come off the bench this season. And Fleming leaving Jacobson in her dust. Annika Rodriguez trying to work her way past Jacobson, who gets stuck in. It's well done by Annika Rodriguez onside. Fleming is in, takes a shot to the face. And coming up the worst for wear. And they're making some progress to that midfield. It's that final third where UCLA just trying to piece it together.
Yeah, and the Utah defense just making it incredibly difficult for them, playing a really tight and compact and organized defensive position. They're coming out, Utah coming out in a 3-5-2 that at times looks like what you said earlier, a 5-3-2 with those outside wingers being able to drop in and provide that extra support.
And oftentimes it morphs into a 4 with one of the backs staying high, one dropping back. It's real fluid, similar to what UCLA can adopt to as well. They like to push their fullbacks really high, but it's Utah 1 possession now. Poe Vanderveen for the substitute. Vukic has the support of Eden Jacobson. They could do with a good spell of possession right about now as Leachman puts a foot on the ball.
I think we are seeing right now defensively in Bruins positioning here. Mace has already slipped into that center forward position for UCLA.
You get a look at Claire Winter. She's just willed her way back into the team, but here comes Haley Mace drawing a duo of defenders, and they do their job. Well played by Janie Curl, tracking back on Utah's behalf. Jacobson trying to find Vukic, and it'll be a throw now for the Bruins.
Janie Curl, just an incredible asset to Rich Manning's side, and a senior defender with experience, understands Rich Manning and the way that he instructs and encourages these players to really come together. I think her leadership on the field is really giving the Utah defense just that extra boost of confidence, being able to shut down players like Mace and Rodriguez. Poe back
to Tegan Micah, who hasn't had a lot to do for UCLA this evening. Max Serta, one of those converted fullbacks who's finding a home after playing a little bit higher as a natural striker earlier in her career. UCLA will have the throw here just before the half-hour mark and looking to draw first blood against the Utes.
You're watching Pac-12 Mountain, home of the Colorado Buffaloes and the Utah Utes. Available on Xfinity.
Every Friday night, Mike Yam, Curtis Conway, and Eric Allen take you inside the huddle, including live updates straight from campus.
It's going to be a challenge for our guys, but I think our guys will be up for it.
To deliver you the inside scoop on a full weekend of gridiron action.
And there it is, the record!
Josh Rosen throws.
Got in the end zone! Touchdown!
On Inside Pac-12 Football. Friday nights, only on Pac-12 Network.
Goal, take a knee. Hey, good start, good work. This program right here is about family and toughness.
I feel like we all go out there and we play for each other.
It's like this over here.
Do it the right way. Yeah, it matters.
Go left hash, left hash.
Every team says that, but only a few teams really have that. Got a great opportunity this week, and this is going to be a heavyweight fight.
All kinds of excited for a great night. Here come the Utes.
Get to Nissan's Truck Month today and save big on Nissan's family of trucks like Frontier, Titan XD, and Titan, backed by America's best bumper-to-bumper truck warranty. Hurry, Truck Month ends soon. Take on today. Now save up to $13,710 on Titan XD or get Frontier starting at just $18,390. Get to Nissan, proud partner of the Utah Utes.
Well, we'd like to welcome those of you who are watching men's soccer in the draw between Washington and Stanford. This is Pac-12 women's soccer. Thursday goals coming your way from Drake Stadium. Utah and the number 2 Bruins goalless after a half an hour of play. But don't let this scoreline fool you. There have been plenty of attacking chances. Christian Miles alongside former Arizona State defender Timris Lane. And it's Utah who's seen UCLA dominate possession. They've had to weather a lot of the storm, but so far, so good for the visitors.
Utah doing an incredible job in their communication in the midfield, holding the likes of Jesse Fleming and their center mid trio accountable, making it difficult for them to find those passing lanes through to the attackers and the likes of Mason Rodriguez, really using that offsides line to their advantage.
Haley Skolmoski, the junior striker, their top scorer, 4th in the Pac-12 with 7 goals on that Mac Herman watch list. And they'll tend to the defensive duties as they construct the wall here on this free kick for UCLA. This is where they will have to be resolute. There's a variety of weapons in this lethal UCLA arsenal, and that is an understatement. So we'll see how they draw it up. A run over from Sanchez. It's Annika Rodriguez who arrows one to that far post, but no one there to latch onto it. In the end, a goal kick for Carly Nelson and Utah.
Yeah, look to be a cross. A little crafty run over the top of the ball. Sometimes that throws off even your own teammate.
Carly Nelson with a couple of shutouts this year, allowing just 17 goals so far this season. Utah team with a 5-win, 6 defeat, and 2 tie record. Out comes Nelson, just to put out that fire.
That's a great step from Carly Nelson coming off of her line. Credit to the Utah defenders making sure.
How does a high line, when played by Utah, how does that affect the goalkeeper's role?
Well, she definitely has to become that last defender and be willing to be brave enough to step off her line.
So forward here now for Utah, but they can't quite come together with that finishing product.
Skomolski looking to pair up there with Poe Vanderveen. Plays it back in kind of with haste. If she were just to take an extra second, she has a attacking ability herself instead of forcing it into the likes of the Bruin defense.
Another long diagonal. Rodriguez is in, and out comes Nelson. And she's been very active off her line, the Utah keeper, this evening.
Yeah, and if your defense is going to play that offsides line, then the role of the goalkeeper is to make sure that she's picking up anything that's coming through on those through balls.
Almost like a sweeper,
yeah,
so to speak. Sweeper keeper.
Sweeper keeper.
Carly Nelson. And then Utah growing in her physical presence. Rich Manning telling us she's improving her distribution and her judgment on high balls is getting much better. It's always one of the more difficult aspects for keepers to learn. Remember Tim Howard struggling with it earlier in his career. Here's Annika Rodriguez once again, naming it wide. Winter hits it first time, but straight into the gloves of Nelson.
She didn't really leave much for her teammates to run onto that one. Really direct to Nelson. I think it was meant to be a cross, turned into a shot, just not enough pace to beat Nelson.
Zoe Goralski, who's just checked in, rather, making that run. The unmistakable forays down that right-hand side. So she's come in at that left back, that right back position, and has just altered the configuration of this defense. Trying to link up with Sheehan, who's wearing a number 17 in white.
Just ambitious pressure there from the Bruins. I think we're seeing that from both sides.
Kaya McCullough caught in possession. Utah's Eden Jacobson claims. Poe Vanderveen all on her own, but dispossessed.
I like Jacobson. She's someone that is just consistent. Real defensive central mid-type player. She likes to win the ball, find the outlet pass, and create something for her Utah offense.
Here's Goralski trying to provide a spark off the bench. The redshirt senior. Fleming now out wide. And here come the Bruins. And once again, just held in check by that offside trap and that high line, once again by Utah. Well, coming up at halftime, we'll have the halftime report with Kate Rooney. She's manning everything tonight. Highlights from the men's matches earlier today, including a ranked clash in that battle between the Huskies and the Cardinal, plus the Pac-12 Women's Soccer Players of the Week, and a look back at Basketball Media Day at the Pac-12 Studios. Mike Yam hamming it up with a lot of the local players. We'll have it for you here on the halftime report with Kate Rooney.
Haley Mace making that list. We talked about it at the start. 6 goals in just 4 games.
He's on a great run of form right now.
Woman is on fire.
Absolutely, but it just hasn't really quite taken off here. 10 minutes to go until halftime. UCLA slightly puzzled by Utah, as it's a good piece of coverage defensively from Tavia Leachman.
Well, you know your role. When you're stepping out on that pitch and you're looking at sizing up the likes of Haley Mace, Annika Rodriguez, and even Ashley Sanchez, you know what you're up against, and you know that you're capable in this conference. You're going to give it your all as a defender. You've got the statistics rolling out. Mace with 12 goals, and your job is to stop her from scoring. So that kind of focus really makes it difficult when you're going. If you're Mace, you're probably getting frustrated at the limited opportunities. But players like her, she finds ways to make things happen.
Nice flick forward. It may drop for UCLA, and it's banged just high of goal. It's a Utah team that's recorded 4 clean sheets or 4 shutouts so far this season. They're going to make another change. And they will bring on Ireland Dunn, the sophomore from Kaysville, Utah. Scored 57 goals in her high school career, so she can put it in the back of the net. We'll see what kind of a role she takes up for Rich Manning and the Utes. First touch straight in for the substitute. And will hold it up for support. She'll get it from Jacobson.
Great movement there from Jacobson. Her second touch forward, creating space for herself and being able to connect out wide. She's just a consistent player for this Utah defense and offense. Winning balls and creating something out of nothing, Jacobson.
This is Aaliyah Guerder, part of that 3-back system, but she sends it long. That's something they can really ill afford to do right now. Not under pressure and giving it away like that. Want a little bit better, tighten it up.
I think what you end up seeing against strong teams like UCLA is oftentimes when the defensive team, the team that's been kind of put on their heels against an otherwise attacking team, the kind of reaction is to just play it long and create space for yourself. Get it out of your middle or attacking third.
Here's Annika Rodriguez going down the line for Mace and summoning Leachman into action once again. Leachman, a true sweeper, the very essence of the position tonight. Here's Annika Rodriguez who gets it, trying to angle one in, nicely read. And here's Delaney Sheehan for the Bruins. Flag is down, onside. Villacorta leaves it off. Mace with that first touch going to the byline and runs out of real estate. And it will be a Utah goal kick.
Well defended there from the number 5, Janie Curl. She's having an excellent night. That first touch from Mace was also just on point, but Curl managed to get between her and the ball, eliminating that cross.
I mean, you're a defender. It's all about the angles, right?
Absolutely, and if you're within playing distance, you just put your body in the way, make it difficult for that attacker to make that connection.
Annika Rodriguez dropping it off for Zoe Goralski. Not part of the starting setup tonight, but she usually is. When you have so many weapons that Amanda Cromwell has in her arsenal, she has all kinds of looks and wrinkles that she can put to this starting 11. Here is Goralski into Utah territory, right past Jacobson. She's done well. She's capable of going on these runs, and she's earned a free kick for the Bruins. Perhaps just a little bit of frustration building right now. UCLA, they're used to putting up the goals.
They're playing a quick free kick, quick restart.
Wide on that left, peeling off the marker is Mace, and it was a good recovery from Wells. She's a handful, Haley Mace. Wells did well.
Mace wants that corner. But Wells earns the free kick for her Utah side.
So we'll see Sunny Dunphy check into the game now for the UCLA Bruins. And coming off will be Annika Rodriguez, the spark plug on the right-hand side. And Dunphy, the sophomore striker, was a substitute on Sunday, but they like to use a lot of their firepower off the bench. UCLA played 49 minutes, Dunphy, against the Wildcats. A lot of these players could start for a lot of other schools around the country.
You know, if you're Rich Manning and the coaching staff for Utah, you've got to be pleased with how your players have showed up today on the night, taking care of the ball, even making these connections like we're seeing now.
And this is good interplay in midfield from Utah, but it's broken up by Goralski. Tegan Micah thrust into action over the head of Dunphy, and will come out for a Ute throw. They're going to make another switch.
This will give Utah the opportunity to really position themselves offensively, prepared for the quick transition and the counter.
So Max Flom checks in, the junior midfielder. Curl goes to the bench. Jacobson leaves it. This is Wells.
Looking for that direct play through, and that's going to be the difficult ball for Utah. Trying to play direct, skipping through the midfield, when really connecting is really what's generated their opportunities through that midfield.
Let's see how they settle in. Winter drops back. This is Karina Rodriguez, part of that partnership back there with Kaya McCullough. Underclassmen performed so well this year. Just want to tighten it up a little bit. Some room for improvement in the back for the Bruins. Have allowed 10 goals so far this season with 5 clean sheets. Those 5 clean sheets right in the middle of the pack. Good enough for 5th in conference play, but substitutes trying to combine to good effect here for the Utes. Nice looking cross straight into the box, and it's cleared away. It drops to the feet of Fleming.
What composure she has to take on Jacobson. Finding her outlet in a switch. I think the challenge for Utah tonight when they get the offensive opportunities is really to make that final pass through.
Left-hand side, and here they come. Mace skins her defender, gets in, pulls it back, gonna drop it off. It's Delaney Sheehan with her back to goal. Goralski drives one in and just hits it wide.
Well, you want to talk about power and pace. Turn to Haley Mace, everyone. She just beats her defender down that left flank, crossing that one back. It's a great ball, but Delaney Sheehan just overran it by about a foot or two, having to play that one backwards. Did take a shot, just not on frame, not good enough.
Did everything right, just can't quite find the finishing product right now. But
yeah, I think UCLA Bruins have to be frustrated coming out of this half. Utah have to be feeling good with the way they've played both defensively and offensively. They're just lacking in that final third. How are they going to beat and break down that Bruin back line when they get the opportunity? Right now, just crossing it in and hoping that Skolmalski will get on the end of it is just a 50-50 battle that hasn't turned out in their favor so far.
Max Flom sending it forward. However, UCLA able to win it back. Delaney Sheehan, the freshman, drops in. Karina Rodriguez plays it wide.
Utah repossesses, does well.
Interesting to see Matlish adopting to that role on the left-hand side after starting it right back. They can switch it around.
Yeah,
it's a guessing game.
We're seeing it. We're seeing it. A chess match, if you may. You said it.
So final minute of half number 1. Utah looking for a late breakthrough and trying to hit against the run of play. Here's Flom, the substitute. Jacobson, an extra touch.
Jacobson just doing well on the night. She has confidence on the ball. She plays simple.
Pops up off the foot of Goralski. Dunphy lending a helping hand. Big, strong, robust presence. Helped on by Sheehan. This is Jessie Fleming, the Canadian sophomore. Had eyes for Dunphy on the run. Nicely broken up by Guerder. Here's the substitute, Ireland Dunn. About 15 seconds left here in half number 1. Po van der Veen. Can they find that last 10-second incision?
They better go for it.
Nice touch on that far side. Vukic trying to get it behind, but it doesn't quite come off. And 45 minutes in the books, no goals between the Bruins and the Utes.
Coach Rich Manning has to be pleased with his side as they've stuck to the game plan. They've really made it complicated for the Bruins attack to find that final connection in front of goal, really eliminating quality chances against Carly Nelson. And on the other side of the pitch, UCLA Bruins having to defend in that center of the pitch against Utah. Utah really connecting in a way that I think is going to build their confidence, knowing that they can play with the likes of Bruins. Now they just need to generate some better opportunities.
Yes, indeed. They're trying to bunker it and absorb a lot of this possession from the UCLA Bruins, who couldn't find the breakthrough. And right now we're joined by UCLA head coach Amanda Cromwell. Hey, Amanda, thanks for taking the time here. They're a little bit of a puzzling setup here for Utah. Tough nut to crack. You guys had some great spells of possession. How did you see the first half?
Well, they're a really good defensive team. They're super organized, well coached. So it's going to be a challenge to get in behind them. We just got to get more shots off, maybe take one from distance to make them step out a little bit more.
You started the night off with Mace out wide. Do you think she'll stay there for the rest of the night? Typically we see her more in a center attacking position.
She moved in the center before the end of the half.
Yeah, I noticed that. So she's really contributed a lot. What is the biggest challenge for you guys going into the second half?
Just breaking them down, being patient in possession. I think we got to use the width, maybe have our 3 front be a little more central so we can get our outside backs high and wide and just create overloads and get them behind them.
All right, Amanda, thanks for taking the time and best of luck coming up in the second half. After the break, we send it up to Kate Rooney for the halftime report with all the latest from Media Day, Pac-12 men's soccer, and the rest. But after 45 minutes here in Westwood, it's Utah 0. The number 2 Bruins 0.
Okay, I picked out my dream car. Now's the really fun part. Choosing the color, the wheels, the interior, everything exactly how I want it. Here's the thing. Just because I configured this car online doesn't mean it really exists at a dealership. But with TrueCar, I get real pricing on actual cars in my area. I see what others paid for them, and they show me the ones that match the car I want. So I know I can go to a TrueCar certified dealer, and it'll be right there waiting for me. Today. Right now. This is TrueCar.
Saturday and Sunday, members of the U.S. national team square off against Pac-12 All-Stars. The USA College Challenge, Saturday at 6 and Sunday at 11 on Pac-12 Networks.
Champions are crafted in the laws of science.
The collective combination
of attraction,
research, and pure compounds.
We call it Pac-12 team chemistry.
And it makes us who we are.
Hi, this is Ann Kelly, head golf coach at Colorado, and you're watching Pac-12 Mountain.
Pac-12 Women's Soccer is presented by new Pure Silk Razors. Shake up your shave with Pure Silk Premium Disposable Razors. And by State Farm, here to help life go right.
And welcome back to Pac-12 Women's Soccer, presented by Pure Silk. It is halftime here as we get set for the start of the second half. Utah 0, the number 2 Bruins 0. Right now we're joined by Utah head coach Rich Manning. And Rich, thanks for taking the time here. Let's take a look back at this first half. You guys set up pretty well, played a high line, but a good defensive posture. How did you see the first 45 minutes?
Well, I'm proud of our team because they're fighting hard, and that's the most important thing right now, especially when you're in a funk. And did some really good things, and I think we just have to continue to be confident and keep the ball a little bit.
Coach, Janie Curl is stepping up big for you guys, especially defensively. How do you see her contribution now that she's back from injury? How has it really lifted the morale?
Well, it's good to see her back out there. She's kind of our inspirational leader and bringing that senior urgency to the field and doing a good job on some really talented wingers out there.
All right, Rich, trying to go forward here. I know you're trying to hit one on the break. How do you get more involved and get more out of your front line?
Yeah, I think they need to do a better job of securing that first touch, but I think also we can go a little bit wide when we win the ball in the midfield, or even back to our back line and move the ball around a little bit more to get them some space up top.
All right, Rich, thanks for taking the time, and best of luck here in the second half.
Thanks. That was really boring, though, guys. Come on, let's be a little more excited.
Let's go on.
Okay, thanks.
Thanks, Rich.
Great offsides trap there.
Time for our State Farm Get to a Better State. And Carly Nelson, front and center for the Utes.
Carly Nelson doing extremely well off the line with the likes of Haley Mace running down her throat. And right now it's Matlich that gets the cross off, but again it's Carly Nelson on the rebound making something happen. And they get a little defensive follow through again from Nelson, making things happen. Rodriguez gets around the end of this one, but it's again Carly Nelson coming off of her line.
And she's made a couple of saves, but she's positioned herself really well. Let's take a look at our Pure Silk halftime stats. And you look at the shots, just 2 for Utah, trying to still put one on target. That number that sticks out, 5 for the Bruins, but 2 shots on goal. And normally we see a lot more from UCLA at this point.
Yeah, credit to Utah defense from really limiting their opportunities. They've definitely had a lot more of the attacking momentum moving forward, and we see that in the shots and shots on goal and balance on corners. And I think both sides will be looking for more balls down the end, generating those free kick opportunities.
Second half is underway. Utah in the dark uniforms, kicking from left to right, looking for their first Pac-12 conference win of the season. Just trying to, as Rich Manning just said, get out of the funk. They've lost 4 straight coming in here. The only point came in impressive fashion as they took a goalless draw out of Salt Lake City against then number 10 USC. After double overtime, they're going to need that same kind of resolute organization tonight against a very talented Bruin outfit.
It's true. Really digging in their heels, creating those opportunities. I think that's something they've done really well. What he expressed about being able to switch the ball, switch the point of attack through their defense, and finding their players out wide to really start something in that final third for the Utah attack, finding Skolmoski and Po van der Veen.
And she needs more touches, Skolmoski, if she's going to be more influential in this game.
But she also needs players that are with her. She can't be solo. She can't take on the Bruin defense alone. And that's what we've seen so far, is the opportunities they have had have been minimal because she's up there alone. Maybe Ballstead ran off of her. Vukic checked back in. So finding those combination opportunities with the likes of Haley Skolmoski, who led the Pac-12 in goals scored last year, wasn't Player of the Year. That was a correction on my part. Also just a tremendous attacking force.
And speaking of attack, wide on the right, it's Dunphy! And it's held wide on the right.
Great
Carly
timing.
Nelson making the save.
Great timing there from Dunphy, timing her run perfectly as Fleming just lays this one on for her. To hit it one time, Carly Nelson coming up big again.
Got her angles right. UCLA with good build-up play, well weighted by Jessie Fleming and put it on a platter for Sunny Dunphy, who was trying to record her second. UCLA just getting a little bit frustrated, but with Jessie Fleming pulling the strings, she can unlock any defense at any given point in the game. We've seen her with 6 helpers this far this season. We saw her do it last year as well. This one swung across. A dangerous moment for the Bruins as Utah start to ask the questions.
And that's an incredible ball through, and that's the type of anticipation that Utah will need to have. There can't just be one solo attacker up there. Janie Curl doing really well defensively, but we need to see her anticipate those offensive opportunities so that she can be on the end of that.
The header won by Dunphy. Is trying to send it forward in a free kick for the Bruins. They've been held in check so far. UCLA have won 5 of the prior 8 meetings between these two, but it was last year in Salt Lake. Utah walking out 2-0 victors. Katie Rogers and Haley Skolmowski doing the damage for Utah. And of course, accounting for only their 2nd win against UCLA since joining up with the Pac-12 Conference back in 2011. Here's Takirda now, supported well in the back by Wells.
And here's that reset, going back to the defense to really establish the attack for Utah. Those direct long balls are going to be difficult for Utah to settle down when the Bruin defense has just proven to be solid thus far.
And once again, it's Utah setting up with that highlight nearly at midfield. It's one of the best attacks in the country. That's how confident they are in their setup.
Well, if you give the likes of Fleming and Villacorta, Claire Winter space in that midfield, we know what they're capable of. We know that they're capable of just slashing through midfields and generating those through ball opportunities, getting the balls down the flank, and creating something out of nothing. Jessie Fleming, you said it yourself, she can break down any defense just with her skill set alone.
And at times a little too ponderous from UCLA. I'm sure they want to speed the tempo up and make that passing a little bit more crisp so they can get in behind. They've got the horses to run the race, so to speak.
Yeah, generating that momentum for UCLA is when they become such a dangerous team. Technically, tactically, they move forward together as a unit, and boy, do they have lethal weapons.
Nice turn to the midfield now from Rodriguez, who's found that pocket of space, plays it out wide. Goralski has kept her spot at right back. She'll pump one in. All host of white shirts. It pops off the head of Dunphy and corralled easily in the end by Nelson. So Dunphy keeping her spot at the beginning of the second half, along with Sheehan and Goralski. UCLA not shy about tinkering with things, that's for sure. Throw in now for the Bruins. Still have yet to be beaten this year.
It's been 17 games since last year.
Quite a run. Sheehan pushes it out wide for Goralski. The senior fullback drops that shoulder.
Sheehan is unmarked in the middle there, looking for that one back.
They're starting to get that width in those wide areas that Amanda Cromwell told us about. It's Goralski, great run, great setup play, and they really should have opened it up. It's set up beautifully for the Bruins. That one just popping over the bar, but credit the run from Goralski to set the table.
Now check this one out. It's Fleming who steps up to this one. But if you watch her body position, take a look. She leans back. And when you lean back, the ball goes up. Just a little bit of form there. Getting her chest over that ball could have kept it down and on frame. Unlucky there for Fleming. Something she normally would keep on target.
The goal scoring production down for the talented Canadian this year, but we mentioned she is playing a bit of a deeper role. Remember, Fleming second in the Pac-12 in goals scored last year with 11, tied with Taylor Korniak. 2 so far this year, but has really had a hand in a supporting role. Here's Matlich, who's moved over from left back, or from right back to left back. Claire Winter keeps her spot in the center of midfield, wide for Goralski, links up nicely. Slick little turn from Dunphy, trying to assert her physical presence. Out wide now for Gabby Matlich. trying to find some inroads here as Dunphy links. Rodriguez trying to thread it through, and they're just not on the same page.
You said it, not on the same page. It was the right ball through, but there was no players running onto that. Utah really asserting their defensive presence, holding their line, and forcing Rodriguez to make that decision. And again, Nelson there to clean it up.
It's a young UCLA team. A lot of freshmen out there. 12 on the roster, along with 8 sophomores. They had a great sophomore class last year. Great freshman class this year. In fact, 7 freshmen have started in games this season for UCLA. Here's Gabby Matlich.
I think that's why it's so imperative when you have the experience.
And back to Nelson, and had that pressure. Who's Mace just breathing down her neck. She's been good and known when to come off her line and when to drop back.
And that's something that she trains with her back line. Inevitably, you have to. If you're playing a high line, if you're playing a flat back 4, you're anticipating that offsides call. Nelson's job is to read the play and be confident and decisive when she steps off her line.
49 saves this year, only 3 others with more in the conference. The flick back and safely into the gloves of old safe hands herself.
There she is. That was a great flick off by Mace. No runners onto it.
Skids past Poe Vandermeer. How about the step forward from McCullough? Pocket is space now from Fleming. And this looks promising for the UCLA Bruins. Good link play with Sheehan. And they find that key to pick the proverbial lock. The turn from Sheehan. Fires! What a goal! Outstanding! She turned on a dime. Freshman delight. Delaney Sheehan with the breakthrough. UCLA 1, Utah 0.
Incredible momentum here from the UCLA Bruins. Patience in their attacking third, starting from this player right here, none other than Jessie Fleming, finding the likes of Delaney Sheehan, who turns on a dime, finds her angle, puts it on her left foot, and it just doesn't get any better than that. 1-0 UCLA Bruins go up thanks to the number 17, Delaney Sheehan.
Amanda Cromwell telling us she's been one of the surprises of this season. Wasn't sure or not if she was going to be a starter. 4 goals now in the entire campaign for the freshman from Brentwood, California, and part of the U.S. women's national team set up at the under-19 level. And her star continues to rise in Pac-12 play. What a breakout freshman season. And that will just really lift the mood and optimism here for the Bruins as they look to dig in further. Goralski for the goal scorer, Sheehan. And my, wasn't that a slick turn.
That's just a clinical turn on the ball. Delaney Sheehan coming in off the bench, making something happen, connecting with the glue that is Jessie Fleming.
Dunphy on the move. And suddenly UCLA with their head up and a little pep in their step.
Now there's something about the patience and the composure and poise they have around the outside of the box. There wasn't a whole lot that Utah could do who had flattened out defensively. Unsure whether to step to Jessie or Delaney, and Delaney took no hesitation. She knew she had a good angle, and she went for it.
She was a substitute but played an hour off the bench at Arizona. Delaney Sheehan, after playing 45 against Arizona State, safely back. And once again, Micah, a little bit of a nudge in the back. And not exactly a love tap for Karina Rodriguez as she felt the brunt of that from Ella Ballstadt. And that's something that defenders, you know this firsthand, take note of and remember.
Well, she's doing her job, and she has to do her job there, covering for her goalkeeper, shielding the ball. And that's just Ella Ballstadt playing aggressively, competitively, frustrated.
Yeah.
And just following through. Yeah, there was a little bit of a shove there. It was a rightful yellow. That's what happens in this game. Emotions sometimes.
Just bubble over slightly. Just a little bit after such a great first half, too.
Yeah, well, it'll be interesting to see how Utah responds and adjust.
Wide on the right. The diminutive Goralski, who covers so much ground. Turn from Sheehan, set up for Annika Rodriguez. Thought about it. Wants to pull the trigger herself. Great little scamper from Annika Rodriguez, but in the end dispossessed, and a good piece of defending at that on Utah.
Excellent defending there, picked off.
They've gotten in behind. It's Gorowski. Onside flag is down, and she is an out-and-out menace.
Well covered there from the Utah defense, just not enough to get a solid clearance. They earned the offside flag that gets waved off by the center official.
Interesting decision there. He saw the flag go up. Referee wasn't interested, and Po Vanderveen ignites the counterattack, and this is a great chance for an equalizer. Ball step wide on this right-hand side. She's got Skolmoski and Po Vanderveen with her. And a good piece of defending, team-wise, from the Bruins. Corner kick upcoming now for the Utes.
Now this will be an imperative set piece for Utah Utes. An opportunity for them to really show what they've got in this set piece.
They're a well-drilled unit. They can take it short with Po Vanderveen, the number 14. We'll see what they draw up. UCLA marking up on the near stick and that far post. We'll see how they approach it. It's going to be Guerder standing over it, and a whole host of options now as they look to draw level. Guerder standing over it, and on the outswinger pops one up very high on the volley, and a super strike off the dead ball. Utah with the swift reply. They are right back in it. 1-1 here in Westwood.
And this is how you take set pieces in crucial matchups like this one against the UCLA Bruins. Just imperative to the Utah offense, generating something out of nothing. That was Haley Cachiacarne. This one is a volley, full volley into the back of the net, beating the Bruin defense.
Haley Cachiacarne with her second goal this season, totally unmarked, volleying home the Guerder corner kick. And that is where we stand. Set pieces change ball games.
Absolutely. And that was a well-planned, well-articulated corner and execution on their part. She kind of snuck in on the back post there.
That one flying out. We told you it was going to be the Haley show. We expected a little Skolmoski. We expected certainly a little base, but it's Cachiacarne grabbing the headlines. And
hey, we took our chances with the Haleys.
I tell you what, this is the first Pac-12 goal of the season for Utah. They hadn't scored since September 14th in a 2-1 home win at the expense of Kansas. They got that monkey off their back. So, like the goal did for the Bruins, that will really lift their confidence.
You know, and credit to Ella Ballstad. She had two players on her. She managed to earn that corner, which is huge. Huge for Utah because these are opportunities that they have to take. But Sheehan right here.
And here they come.
Comes right back down.
And look for that swift response. They're almost angered. Dumphy dropping into a deeper roll. Drops that shoulder and heads for the byline. Cross a little bit low. Slightly deceiving. So it'll be another corner kick for the hosts.
Now that clearance needs to be better from Leachman. She gets an opportunity and clears this one, but clears it out for a corner.
Good movement from Sonny Dumphy, the sophomore substitute. So we'll see if they can reply here. We saw the corner kick changed it for Utah. And Annika Rodriguez, in turn, trying to restore the lead now for the Bruins. They've been humbled. Got Fleming in there, and despite her small stature, she is immense in the air. She pops up. Utah clear their line. Here's Matlich.
You can hear that defensive instruction, hold the line, hold the line. That means the Utah defense just stepping up with assertion and force, and now we're on a counterattack.
And here they come, confident as you would expect. Played the target being Po Vanderveen, but it's intercepted by Matlich, who did well. This is Annika Rodriguez as this one now opens up. Things becoming slightly stretched. Annika Rodriguez trying to angle one in for Haley Mace, who made that run. But another piece of good goalkeeping from Carly Nelson.
And great movement here from Utah as they're looking to generate something. They've got the field stretched here. And it's Poe Vanderveen connecting.
This ball played. This is Dalgierda who applies the width. Great looking cross. Headed away by the Bruins who are under it right now. This is Jacobson for the Utes. There's a spring in their step. Tell you what, they're not going to roll over. And how about this movement here from Dalgierda? Pulls it across, did everything right, but well positioned is that UCLA back line.
Karina Rodriguez and McCullough just holding back that center back duo in the back line for the Bruins. Utah, like you said, a little spark in their step, generating something offensively.
Amazing what a goal will do for a team is the 1-2 between Annika Rodriguez and Mace doesn't quite come off as they envisioned. It's won back by the Bruins. Here's Sheehan. The lead only lasting 4 minutes for UCLA. They wouldn't be out of the woods against a well-drilled unit like these Utes.
That was an incredible response from Utah. Focusing, capitalizing on their opportunity.
The touch from Fleming. Wide on the right-hand side. This is Dunphy. Puts it on that left foot and trying to link up with Haley Mace. Matlich losing out. Poe Vanderveen getting stuck in. That's how the Dutch do it. It's sent out wide now, and here they come. This is Skolmoski running straight at this UCLA defense. She pulls the trigger. Save from Teagan Micah, her first of the evening.
UCLA Bruins defense in the back line really being tested for the first time tonight in these last minutes. Since that goal has been scored, there's been a different kind of confidence in the Utah attack. Dribbling at players, we're seeing our outside players here, the outside players on the right side just take on, and the likes of Skolmoski take on that back line.
Opens up just a bit, and with the assemblage of talent for UCLA and the way they like to play, this could be to their advantage. They like an open field game, and it's a great scamper forward. McCullough lays it off, hard running. It's Haley Mace out in front, and a save from Nelson to deny the top markswoman in the entire conference. But you see how quick and lethal the Bruins can be.
This is an excellent advancement coming from the back position. McCullough timing her ball perfectly. Great weight to Haley Mace. Just too long of a touch. Mace can't beat Nelson. Credit to Nelson. She's having a fantastic night. Really doing her job. Sitting in well with her role with that high back line, understanding that she is going to have to commit to stepping off that back line. She's done a tremendous job.
Friday, get ready for a night of kills and thrills. The Bruins and the Utes meet in Salt Lake City. Pac-12 Women's Volleyball. Friday at 5 on Pac-12 Network.
Saturday, it's a Pac-12 football doubleheader. First at 1. Troy Dye and the Ducks are looking for a conference win. Can they knock Chosen Rosen and the Bruins off their game? Oregon and UCLA meet at the Rose Bowl. Then at 5, Rich Rod's Cats clash with the Golden Bears in Berkeley.
Khalil Tate, Pac-12 Player of the Week.
Pac-12 football, presented by Valvoline. Coverage kicks off at noon with the pregame show, only on Pac-12 Network.
Sunday nights, Sports Report sets the score. Ashley Adamson and Mike Yam.
And there is always a pick, boom.
Great goal.
Bring you all the latest from a busy week in the Conference of Champions.
She's magic.
Sports Report, Sunday nights.
With the game winner. Beautifully done.
Only on Pac-12 Network.
There was nothing she could do on that Sheehan goal.
Tell you what, to give you an idea how long it had been, 584 minutes without a goal for Utah. It's a long, long time, about 9.5 hours and then some.
That's impressive math there, Christian Miles. It's a long time.
I brought my abacus with me.
Well, to show up at Drake Stadium and score against UCLA.
Not a lot of teams can do that.
Teetering in and out of first and second place with the likes of Stanford here in the Pac-12 Conference. A team that is just on fire offensively. Is just really showing character, determination, and credit to Coach Manning. The game plan right now, showing up for Utah this evening, coming off of a very difficult stretch and start to conference play. And now we have a game on our hands, Christian Miles.
Yes, we do. Don't sleep on the Utes. Leachman back. Nelson one-times it.
And Haley Mace just making it difficult. When you have a forward running at you at that pace, you're the last player back. Puts a different kind of pressure on you to make the right decision.
So the free kick upcoming now for Utah. Trying to record one of the upsets. Just a little bit late on the challenges, Winter. Referee had a good vantage point as well. So Natalie Wells standing over this free kick now for the Utes. A sophomore from Alpine, Utah.
It's an interesting choice, playing right in there to the likes of Poe Vanderveen. Gets stripped right away.
Yeah, so I just want to take a little steam out of the game.
I think the simplicity in which Utah is playing is to their benefit, keeping that ball moving.
Katia Carne now supported on that left-hand side. She's done the damage for Utah coming off that corner kick.
Look at that take from Fleming. It's just a beautiful touchdown to her feet.
Fleming just trying to unlock that channel for Annika Rodriguez. Read very well by this Utah defense. They shift and shape, hold their shape very well. Here's McCullough now for Winter. Far right, Gorowski going to work. And she picked the lock.
Sheehan did that. Picked the lock there. Maintained her onside position.
Gorowski drops in and trying to hit it. Does so for Rodriguez. Nice angle though, Reg. Rodriguez slips around one, twisting and turning. Annika Rodriguez fires off the cross. Nelson flaps. Ball bounces inside the 6. Scary moment for Utah, but they avert the danger. It's a great piece of work though from Annika Rodriguez to set that up.
I was just going to say some great patience and determination here from Rodriguez, getting this one across, and it's Nelson who really just gets enough on it to keep it out of harm's way, and a swing and a miss there for UCLA's attack.
Nearly a catastrophic mistake from Nelson, who mishandled it but covered up well and made the save to atone, denying Mackenzie Sirta. Sirta wearing the 15, and then you get a look at Nelson. That was their 50th save of the season. Only 3 other keepers have made more this year.
You know, starting from Nelson, Carly Nelson there, holding it down between the posts. Tavia Leachman, Natalie Wells, Aaliyah Guerter, really just doing their job as a unit. They are playing together. And it really starts with Nelson and the confidence that they have in their goalkeeper to be able to maintain that back line. I could hear some of the instruction coming from that back line.
Here's Jesse Fleming for the UCLA Bruins. A no-nonsense approach as he's found that pocket of space. One-time hit from Annika Rodriguez, but too heavy in the end. And that's where they're having their problems in that final third, that final ball. Good control from Mace. Sets the keeper off her line, and we're seeing Haley Mace as we've seen her in very different parts of the season play different positions. Now she's playing a little deeper in that defensive midfield role. She can drop off a bit and push up.
Yeah, I think she's just a versatile player. She's got incredible fitness and ability. We see her chasing down everything. She's a 90-minute plus player, right? Giving it her all. She definitely helps out, does her due diligence defensively.
It's interesting. You brought up a good point. Her fitness. She looks extremely fit this season in comparison to last season. She's taking that extra step, and also covering a lot more ground because she's not playing in the heart of that defense either.
Now, if you watch,
and here she comes, plays it wide. Gorowski in support. Volleys one across. The header is up, and it wouldn't have counted off the post. The flag is up. Goal disallowed. It will not count. The first touch was offside.
I saw that flag go up immediately when that ball came across before the first header. went towards goal and off the post. The flag had already been raised by the sideline official. Let's take a look when the ball is played, and indeed, there she is, offsides.
And Fleming also close to being offside as well. Mackenzie Serta did well with the run.
That is exactly what I'm talking about with the Utah's defensive unit. They have incredible communication, and they are a unit, sticking together, holding that line.
Here come the Bruins once again behind Fleming. Still Jessie Fleming headed off well. A good challenge from Tavia Leachman. They relieve the pressure for the time being. Tavia Leachman, the sophomore from Long Beach Poly High School, injured earlier last month, but is a great piece of individual defending against one of the best players in the country.
You have to have confidence, you have to commit, and Leachman did just that.
Little touch, Sanchez! Well, she's come back in and nearly came back in with a bang. Off the bench and nearly into the goals.
Where the dangerous opportunities have come for UCLA have been down the flanks when they're getting the ball across the 6-yard box, really cutting it back for their teammates to run onto. Right now we're seeing Utah force them to take those outside shots, play from the top of the box. Of course, that's where Delaney Sheehan scored that terrific goal.
And outside the other way, a foul against the Bruins, rather. Free kick for Po Vanderveen. And Utah. Inside 20 minutes left. UCLA with a 4-0-1 record in conference play, and that's in a little bit of jeopardy right now. And as Utah in search of their first Pac-12 win, if they could record it here tonight, what a coup that would be. As Vanderveen gives it a ride over to that far post and cleared away by Claire Winter of UCLA.
So UCLA with 6 shots so far in this half. Utah with 2.
Sanchez finds her way to Haley Mace. What a clever turn it is from Mace. Fouled by Wells. Free kick for the Bruins. 6 weeks at the #1 spot, and they fall just 1 notch below in the USC rankings. After that draw to Arizona on Sunday, United Soccer Coaches. That's the name of the new poll after it was formerly called the NSCAA Coaches Poll. Things changing up a little bit. Got to keep us on our toes.
Those 3 acronyms, mean something different in this conference. USC.
You didn't think I was going to let USC do all the rankings for everybody this year? Leave it up to Lynn Swan.
The defending champions.
And they'll be coming your way on the Pac-12 Network tomorrow in a big one against Danny Sanchez in the Buffaloes of Colorado. Looking forward to that. We'll have it for you on the call at 4. Pac-12
on that one.
But here comes Utah. It's Po Vanderveen. Good block in from Karina Rodriguez. And chance now for the Bruins to counterattack. Here's Viviana Villacorta, the USA Youth International, part of the national team setup, and the under-20 starlet. Sanchez is in, and it's cleared away by Leachman. She's been Johnny on the spot all night long.
Villacorta doing incredibly well down the center of the pitch, just pushing the ball past her defenders, finding Sanchez on the end of this. Sanchez just losing a little bit of her rhythm there, getting the ball out too far in front.
Werder with the clearance. Everybody in that Utah back line in sync and on the same page. We talked about their defense. They've only conceded 17 times, 4 shutouts. Got one against USC. They got a non-conference shutout at LMU here in Southern California, and a 9-0 thrashing, a 9-goal defeat, equaling a school record over North Dakota State. And coming, of course, after a 2-0 triumph against their in-state rivals, Utah State.
Tough challenge here. Janie Curl, that leader on the field that Coach Manning credited with really just being that vocal leader out there. She's having a great night. really contributing to the success so far.
And that's a fascinating individual battle. You look at the likes of Curl White on that left going up against Annika Rodriguez.
And
Two
really
determined characters. And here she comes, Curl trying to peel off and hit the cross. She's won the corner and done very well.
No matter where your daredevils go, or what they get into, you can breathe easier. Because they may qualify for free or low-cost health insurance through Medicaid and CHIP. Even if you've applied before, your kids could still be eligible for doctor and dentist visits, prescriptions, and more. Get your kids covered today. Go to insurekidsnow.gov or call 1-877-KIDS-NOW.
Now you can imagine that you're going to find someone to man up on the goal scorer.
So quarter number 3 coming up. Jeannie Curl making some inroads down that side.
I should say player for player matchup.
We shall see. And beware. Po Van de Veen.
With the left peg here.
One of the better left foots in the conference. Better left feet, rather, in the conference. Gets it back now, and here's the Dutch woman, leaves it off, trying to pick out Vukic to no avail. Annika Rodriguez had a full head of steam, but headed off by Eden Jacobson, who did well to sustain this possession.
Yeah, Jacobson just does so well on the ball under pressure.
Holly Dalgirda, supported by Wells. She'll give that one a ride. Trying to find her way up for Ballstadt.
That short corner, those short corners are always difficult and they need to be executed with poise.
And pace opens up now as Leachman had Mace on her back. Not exactly what you want when you're a defender facing your own goal and the top scorer in the conference hot on your heels.
And Mace is just so fast and threatening on all accords.
I mean, it's just amazing when we don't want to beat a dead horse, but this is a Haley Mesa character that never scored coming into her junior year. A lot of that due to the position she was playing, but she's taken it like a duck to water. And once again, that familiar sight of the offside flag goes against UCLA once again.
Rodriguez having a conversation, looks like, with the sideline official, saying, "Oh, come on, I timed that one." And I'm sure she's practiced her timing. It's something that she's actually really good at. I've seen her do it throughout this season.
You as a defender, though, you kind of relish those moments when that offside flag is working and everybody's in sync and
the offsides
offsides
becomes the other defender, the secret invisible defender, but it's the one that you coordinate with the other members of that back line. You make sure.
Jacobson pushed out wide.
And numbers need to get forward here for Utah if they want to generate that attack moving forward. And again, pressure, just high pressure from all angles of UCLA Bruins.
Dalgirda leaves it off. And they won another corner, make it 4 on the evening for the Utes.
Dalgirda does so good there. Doing so well to generate another opportunity. A dangerous one at that one that they finished on. Can they find it again? I don't think we'll see them go short this time. It's more effective in opportunities like this one just to give your teammates a chance. Get it in there.
They all line up on the edge of the box. Guerder hits it straight into the mixer, and it's dealt with much better this time by the Bruins. Pushed back forward now by the Utes. Guerder still forward from that dead ball and sends it straight forward to Tegan Micah. Only one save tonight for the Australia Under-20 International. Part of the Young Matildas set up. Sort of been called into the Senior Australia team as well, but yet to make an appearance. Sanchez. Matlich for the Bruins. Flag is down this time. Little drop of the shoulder. Gets around Guerra. Matlich has done well. And a pull it across. And how about the reading of that Utah defense, which was perfectly positioned?
You took the words out of my mouth. Their positioning has just been ideal. They've done extremely well to anticipate the play of the UCLA Bruins attack. The cover, the support. Credit right there to the Utah defense. And the number 28, Natalie Wells, playing with that confidence. She's a sophomore defender.
So UCLA going with the Spaniard, Julia Hernandez, wearing the number 10, is checked in. Here she is. Locates Winter. Holding it down in the center. Goralski now at right back. Lifts one up, head up for Fleming. He tried to knock it back. Claimed by Villacorta as Matlich arrives in support now. Heads straight for the byline, and once again, good team coverage at the back for Utah. They are under pressure right now.
Great pressure cover defense there from Utah again. The likes of Wells and Leachman. Matlich really threatening this left wing, trying to cut back on the touchline.
Touch back now for Sanchez. Nowhere to go. A highly touted recruit, Ashley Sanchez, out of Monrovia, California. Already a U17 World Cup and an under-20 World Cup to her credit. Nice little flick. Miss hit from Fleming. Nearly came off to perfection.
You like the creative motivation there. Little cheeky flicks. Aren't quite able to connect up top for the UCLA Bruins. But that's where they're dangerous, just outside the box. Being patient, switching the point of attack. Fleming reads this one well.
Fleming holds up traffic, calls her own number, and it chips in over the keeper. And it's Jessie Fleming who restores order. The Canadian phenom strikes again. Bruins back on top, 2-1.
Well, look at that relief on Jessie Fleming's face. And just the awareness, the soccer intelligence for her to be able to lift her head up. See, she had no pressure. She takes a look at Carly Nelson off her line. And voila! 2-1. Jessie Fleming gives the Bruins the lead. Just a tremendous goal from the central midfielder, the playmaker.
Third goal of the season for Jessie Fleming, and her first goal in conference play of 2017. Unfortunate for Carly Nelson, who was having a good game. Didn't exactly cover herself in glory, as they say, but that's how good Fleming is. Sensed the keeper slightly out of position and took advantage. So that's where we stand.
Well, I'll say this, that we've been giving Carly Nelson credit for coming off of her line. But when you come off your line as a goalkeeper, you have to sacrifice something. And that's sacrificing the ability to be able to stop those quick transitions in the likes and the tactical play and the technique of Jessie Fleming. Just genius on the ball to be able to read that from Carly Nelson. She knows that Carly Nelson has been playing off her line. So let's not think for a second that she wasn't looking for that.
And Fleming buoyed by that goal. Slicing her way through midfield now. And Utah will have to climb out of a hole once again, but you wouldn't put it past them. They did it 4 minutes after Sheehan struck early in the second half. Behind Katya Carney on that corner kick. They're fighters, they're battlers, and they've hung in. But Jessie Fleming is too good. What a player.
That's just a great awareness to see the goalkeeper off her line, even just in the slightest, to be able to chip that one over the top, place it perfectly in the back of the net. Utah looking to respond, find an equalizer.
Here's Villacorta, keeping possession now. Mace drops off deeper. Good movement from Hernandez wide, and cleared away by that disciplined defense of Utah. They're up against it, but they've hung in. and clawed for every blade of grass.
7 minutes to go for Utah. Let's see how they respond.
How tough it is at home. 5 wins, 1 draw for the Bruins here at Drake. Not exactly an easy place to play. Fleming nearly stole it away. Pushed forward by the Utes. Nice movement on that left-hand side, and here they come once again.
Numbers are up for Utah. Working to create something.
It's been better going forward here in the second half than we saw in the first, where, in all honesty, it was a little bit flat despite how great it was defensively. They found that extra spark, another gear.
That's a foul there outside the box.
This curl was brought down. And once again, to be Claire Winter pleading her case here, but this really puts UCLA in a slightly precarious position.
Yeah, this is what we would call not a smart foul. This late in the game, in your defensive third, there are intelligent and professional fouls. This would be one of them. This is potentially a goal-scoring opportunity here. Another set piece, crucial for Utah.
Well, Van de Veen defers. It struck with that right foot, right in the edge of the 6, flicked on and out. UCLA dealing with it well enough. A shutout for the Bruins. 11 goals conceded in 14 games this year.
McCullough just on the end of that.
Good movement here from Villacorta, the talented freshman, leaves it off. Fleming, the sophomore, the underclassman, getting the job done. Wide for the freshman now, Sanchez. And she is a real live wire, Ashley Sanchez. A good balanced approach as she finds Mace, who chips it back in. A nice response from Leachman and company.
High pressure there from Utah, doing their best to regain possession.
There's 5 minutes left here at Drake. Regardless of what happens here in the final 5 minutes, it's been a brave display from Utah. Tip of the hat. And you got to credit UCLA as well. Their character examined, but they did respond. So Lulu Borges will check in. Katya Carney out. Interesting move here from head coach Rich Manning. He's got something up his sleeve. Borges, the freshman, play a role in midfield or anywhere on that back line as well.
Bring in some fresh energy, a new spark, something different. It's tough to go in the final 5 minutes of a match and make something happen, but when you do, you can provide.
Little drop as it goes all the way back to Teagan Micah.
Now that back line is just getting up rather quickly. It's so important and imperative to their success that they stay together. If one person lags and keeps on, say, a Haley Mace or an Ashley Sanchez or Rodriguez, then you're off to the foot races.
Touched over for Haley Mace, shoring up the midfield. UCLA in no hurry. It's all about what they say in the soccer world as match management right now and seeing out the result. Taking the 3 points.
Gamesmanship.
They come out wide on the right behind Mace.
And Mace will take her time out here.
Twisting attorney, she'll fire off a cross unmarked as Sanchez at the edge of the box. Drops that shoulder. Sanchez has her pocket picked at the last possible moment.
Yeah, Po van der Veen getting back to help out her back line. Again, another dangerous free kick called here for UCLA Bruins.
So Guerra fouling Ashley Sanchez.
And Bruins are fans of quick restarts. This time they'll take their time, line it up for something different. Here they're just looking to keep possession, playing intelligently, match management, as you said, Christian.
Yes. Utilize that clock. Use that time to your advantage. Little touch forward from Karina Rodriguez. It comes out of play, and that'll suit the Bruins just fine. Just 2.5 left in this one, and they'll be heading for Pac-12 victory number 5 unless Utah can muster up an equalizer.
Jessie Fleming doing well to just keep possession. And she turns it over right there.
Cleared away. Matlich, who started out on the right-hand side of defense, but that changed after about 20 minutes. Borowski coming back in, providing a spark on the right-hand side for the Bruins. Julia Hernandez.
Jacobson really has just had an incredible game defensively. What I like about her is her ability to keep possession in tight spaces, dribble out.
All action.
She's been terrific on the ball. Just want to give her credit.
Coming up next for the Bruins Thursday up in Pullman to take on the Cougs before a Sunday visit to Seattle to take on the Huskies, and the Arizona schools paying a visit to Salt Lake City next weekend. Thursday it starts off with the Wildcats and Tony Amato trying to record a big away win. And it may be a bridge too far right now for the Utes.
Feels like we just got our season started here.
It's gone fast, and we hit the midpoint. And this is where it gets really, really interesting. Teams trying to make a run for that Pac-12 title, trying to dethrone Stanford.
Like I said, it's been going back and forth. Stanford, UCLA at the top there. Both looking extremely sharp on the year.
Those are the real top two in the conference right now. Emerging into, everybody expected the teams to beat, both the Bruins as well as the Cardinal. Were impressive away to Colorado on Sunday and managed to record a big win over Utah last Thursday in Salt Lake City.
Quick steal there from Sanchez, no foul called.
So a matter of seconds left.
Everything's forward now if you're Utah. And the countdown begins. Wow, that's an incredible goal by none other than Jessie Fleming to take the lead for UCLA Bruins. Utah really bringing it, all of their momentum, everything that they needed to get out. They left it on the field. Well coached by Rich Manning.
And a big goal at that for Jessie Fleming, and it was in peril. UCLA had more than they bargained for, perhaps. It was a game effort from Utah Temris, who came in with discipline and a good tactical game plan, but in the end, just too much UCLA, and Jessie Fleming checking all the boxes tonight and giving UCLA the big lift when they needed it.
Incredible matchup here tonight. We saw it.
Well, a big win for the Bruins as they emerge 2-1 victors. For Temris, I'm Christian Miles. We send it out to Kate Rooney. Coming up, it's the Sports Report Update.
This program right here is about family and toughness.
Every team says that, but only a few teams really have that.
A lot of the focus is down low. Our low people drawing that double, moving the ball, and then our first instinct has to be to attack.
The Colorado women's lacrosse program is climbing to new heights this season.
There's the horn, 18-6. Was all Buffaloes.
The rise is real, baby.
But what is even more incredible than the Buffs' current success is that at this time, just more than 5 years ago, there was no Division I lacrosse to speak of in Boulder. Colorado launched its lacrosse program in 2012 and promptly announced Ann Elliott as the person to lead the charge.
I'm incredibly excited. As I said, this is a dream for me. I couldn't think of a better place to come and start a program.
And there is Ann Elliott, her first year
in leading the program at Colorado.
Being out here in the University of Colorado, it's such a beautiful place. It has so much to offer academically, athletically, in the community, but most people don't know about it.
When I first heard about Colorado, my mom yelled to me and goes, "Katie, Colorado's starting a lacrosse program." And I go, "Okay, Mom, cool." We just kind of laughed about it.
Good, Katie. Down. Don't let her turn, though, Kels. Good.
The main thing about the whole recruiting process coming to Colorado, where there was no team, there's no program, was just the vision that Coach sold to us.
I think we were fortunate enough to get players that bought into that vision, that were excited about the University of Colorado. Out, out, out. Remember, stay down. Go. Good. Sooner. Good take, Carly.
With a roster of 21 freshmen in 2014, the Buffaloes finished a respectable 11-8. The foundation was set, but there was still a long way to go.
Good. On. Who's hot? 2. Back. Quicker. Our challenges over the last couple of years have just been winning those big games.
Costly giveaway for the Buffs.
For Fritz out in front, great passing. Oh my goodness.
And they have it. Delcourt with the wraparound. USC leads.
I think that kind of put a chip on all of our shoulders, and we're like, this is our year, and this is the time that we're finally going to make the tournament.
Now those freshmen have become seniors and are putting the college lacrosse world on notice.
Colorado Buffaloes hosting the 9th-ranked Northwestern Wildcats. Finding McClay underneath in the score. The Buffs knock off the number 9 team in the country.
We had never beat a ranked opponent. You know, coming in and being able to get that victory was huge for us, I think, confidence-wise.
I think that really set up our season for knowing what we could accomplish.
The bench is clear. Buffaloes embrace themselves. Massive win today.
Buffs on 2, 1, 2!
These Buffs have grown a lot in 4 years' time, but the journey for this trailblazing group is not over quite yet.
My hopes for this program are to eventually get to the highest level where we can compete.
Being pioneers, being part of that first inaugural program is something, you know, incredibly special. And I think I'm going to be telling my kids and grandkids, you know, I helped build Colorado lacrosse.
We're not quite at the highest level. I have no misconception of where we're at. We're not quite there, but we can get there. But then we got to stay there. And that's what we want for Colorado.
My name is Derek McCartney, senior outside linebacker at the University of Colorado. Major is integrated physiology.
Blitz coming, speed in trouble, the ball's loose for the touchdown. It's Derek McCartney.
Once I'm done with football, I plan to go to med school with my degree, and that's really just been a dream ever since I was little. I really have enjoyed the major I did, and I ended up graduating last May, which was awesome, and started my master's program this year. We do our fair share of community service, and it's really cool. I mean, I usually walk away from it just like, wow, that's a really cool organization. I was glad I got to help them out. And this year, my family group went to a place called Day with Care. It really touched me, and there's just a lot of different things I've gotten to do through the last 4 years that I wouldn't have really thought of doing or wouldn't have known that I could do, and it's just been cool to be able to do that. My name's Derek McCartney. Go Buffs!
For over a century, the Pac-12 has been a catalyst for collective excellence, an extraordinary blend of 12 unique universities. Combined, we elevate team chemistry to an art form as future leaders and global game changers. Pac-12, the Conference of Champions.
Hi, I'm Chen Yue. I'm double major in statistics and business. I'm a center from Cal basketball. Berkeley is special because the community is really welcoming and they really helped me to get used to everything. You know, it's really hard, but the people really gave me a lot of help, you know, from coach, teammates, you know, even the people in the campus really helped me a lot. So I think the most fun thing in Berkeley is I'm exploring different restaurants to eat. Here has a lot of different kind of food, and my favorite is just to explore what kind of the good food is and just try them all. So I think my biggest inspiration is Coach Lindsay, because she's really powerful, and no matter what difficult she's facing, she always have a positive attitude. I'm Chen Yue. I'm double major in statistics and business. I'm a center from Cal basketball. Go Bears!
The Manhood Development Program is a flagship program of the Office of African American Male Achievement, and our goal is to engage, encourage, and empower young black males in the Oakland Unified School District.
It's important for the Pac-12 for us to use our platform to work on inclusion and involving and I'll say molding the next generation.
A lot of them love sports, but they don't see the different aspects of sports, whether it's the media side of it, the business side of it, the action side of it, things like that. So, this is an opportunity for them to see their favorite college teams and things like that and how it's being covered.
It widens our horizons, so we can do different things like come here. I've never been here before, so I like this experience.
My favorite part of this trip was the anchoring studio.
I'm used to talking a lot to my partners a lot, and everybody said I was good at commentary, and I like football a lot, so I guess that showed out a lot.
I think it's incumbent upon us after the field trip to then make lessons that connect with the things that we learned here.
It's not climbing Mount Everest to get a job in athletics, and just to expose them to other opportunities that they can pursue during their time in school.
Ultimately, kids will be what they see, and so just as long as we just continue to place the options before them so that they have a heightened awareness about just some of the opportunities available to them, I know that they'll rise to the occasion.
77 degrees at kickoff. Clear skies. Utah has won the toss and deferred. The Trojans will start the game on offense, and we'll get an early look at Sam Darnold. Mitch Wisnowski will kick it away. And as his toe meets the leather, we're underway from Southern California. Out of the end zone. On first down and 10, first play from scrimmage, it is Ronald Jones, and he is sent back for a loss. Filippo Mokofisi makes the stop.
That's one.
Here's Darnold. First throw of the night. Put some air underneath it, and going up for it was Michael Pittman, bringing it down for Marquise Blair, who is the big hitter on that Ute secondary. Oh, Darnold's going to keep it, and he'll take a big shot. Knocked down at his own 49-yard line again. It's Marquise Blair. Second down and 3 now. Just shy of midfield. Two tight ends in there. And the give is to Jones. He's got first down yardage and more. Ronald Jones on his feet. Taken down inside the 30 by Chase Hansen, but not until he ripped off 21.
They got to get Ronald Jones going, and they're not going to be able to do it inside, so give it to him outside. He's got so much speed and so much elusiveness that you get him into the second level, and he's going to make you pay.
Hansen, who made the tackle, is down on the field in a prone position, being attended to.
Where they're holding his helmet and checking the back of his neck there. That's never a good sign.
Javelin Guidry will take Hansen's spot. He's a true freshman, 28 in white. We'll watch for him bottom of your screen. Here's Darnold on first and 10. Throwing, looking for 6. Could not hook up with Tyler Vaughns, and they went right after Guidry. Second and 10. Fumble, ball is out. They fumbled the exchange, and Darnold couldn't get it back. First turnover of the game. And the football belongs to Utah. It is Bradley Anai who came up with it. You could see that coming from a mile away.
Well, Sam Darnold's trying to do too much here. He's trying to read the defensive end on the outside, and he just has a little bit of indecision right there. He's looking at it, and you got to make a quick decision. Doesn't necessarily have to be the right decision, but you cannot be in between when you're reading these defensive ends, and that's on Sam Darnold right there. He tries to pull it and then put it back. Once you pull it, you got to keep it.
Darnold has said, hey, I got to be better on turnovers.
And so there it comes, less than 2 minutes into the game. Turnover number 1 for Darnold and the Trojans. On first down and 10. Handoff to Zach Moss. He's stopped by Cameron Smith. On second and 10 to throw. Out to the flat. Here's Williams. Good protection. And unable to connect with Carrington. Jane Harris is back for USC, standing at his 10. And Mitch Wisnowski is back to punt. Wisnowski was the Ray Guy Award winner from a year ago, the best punter in the country. And Harris will call for the fair catch. First down and 10. Darnold to throw. Out to the sideline. And wide open is Josh Fallow. Fakes to Jones. And the throw able to complete Deontay Burnett. Cass, thank you. Back in time.